Every new farming season begins with careful preparation. For farmers, the land is our lifeblood, the place where we place all our hopes for the future. Since I was a child, I have witnessed my parents tirelessly working to improve the soil. They taught me that the land needs to be cared for like a living being, needing to be plowed and loosened so that the roots of the plants can grow strong. As I grew older, I realized that this preparation is not just physical labor, but also an essential part of our spiritual practice. We often begin the season with a small ritual. It takes place early in the morning, just as the sun rises, with the whole family gathered together to offer prayers to the earth gods, asking for a bountiful harvest. The scent of incense mingles with the aroma of freshly plowed soil, creating a sacred and peaceful feeling that is hard to describe. Every time I hold a handful of soil in my hands, I can feel its warmth and the abundant energy it provides. The land is not just where we plant, but it is the lifeblood of our entire family. Choosing the right land is no easy task. Land for banana cultivation needs to be highly fertile, with good drainage, and especially free from salinity. This requires careful observation and the next step is to plow the land. With technological advancements, we now have modern plowing machines that save us time and so on the heart of the grower. And indeed, every time I stand in the vast fields, I always feel a special connection between humans and nature. After the soil had been carefully prepared, we moved on to the stage of planting banana trees. For me, this is the stage that brings the most emotions. Every time I see the young green banana shoots, I feel like I'm witnessing the beginning of a new life. Bananas are propagated through tissue culture, a modern technique that allows us to produce large quantities of seedlings while maintaining their quality. However, the process is not always smooth. Sometimes the seedlings get sick or don't develop well, which requires patience and careful attention. Once we have healthy seedlings, we gently place each banana plant into the ground. This work requires not only technique, but also finesse. We must ensure that the roots are completely covered and undamaged. After planting, we continue to water the plants so they can absorb the necessary moisture. The modern irrigation system helps us maintain consistent moisture in the soil, but daily monitoring is still essential to ensure that no plant suffers from drought. Caring for banana plants in the early stages is like nurturing a child. The plants need to be shielded from harsh sunlight and protected from harmful insects. In the first few weeks, we use tarps or nets to protect the plants from intense heat and strong winds. Sometimes, sudden heavy rains can cause waterlogging, so quick drainage becomes extremely important. One of my most memorable experiences was when I helped my parents plant the first banana tree in our home garden. It was a late spring afternoon with gentle sunlight and a cool breeze. My father carefully showed me how to properly hold the seedling, how to place it in the soil gently but firmly. My mother stood beside us, softly saying, "A banana tree is like a person. If you take good care of it, it will bear fruit." And indeed, the first banana tree I planted later produced a bunch of golden, sweet bananas. That was a success I will never forget. As the banana trees begin to grow, our work does not lessen. On the contrary, it becomes even more meticulous. Banana trees grow quickly, and if not properly cared for, they can easily become weak or diseased. One of my daily tasks is to inspect each banana tree, trimming away old or diseased leaves so the tree can focus its nutrients on developing the trunk and banana clusters. Weed control is also an essential part of banana tree care. Weeds compete with the banana plants for nutrients and sunlight, so we must regularly clear the soil. Weeds not only hinder the banana tree's growth, but also provide a habitat for harmful insects. Every early morning, before the sun rises high, I usually take a small hoe and carefully walk along the banana rows, removing each patch of weeds. It is not an easy task, but it brings me a sense of peace as I get closer to nature. Water management for banana trees is another critical factor in their development. Bananas need water, but cannot tolerate waterlogging. Therefore, our irrigation system is designed to ensure that the trees receive the necessary amount of water without causing waterlogging. During heavy rains, my family and I must always be on standby to ensure the drainage system works well, preventing flooding that could rot the banana roots. Another major challenge we face is pests and diseases. Banana trees are susceptible to various pests, such as stem borers, mealybugs, and especially the Panama disease, Fusarium wilt. When we detect any signs of disease, we must act immediately to prevent it from spreading. In recent years, we have adopted many biological methods using natural predators to control pests instead of over-relying on pesticides. This not only helps protect the banana trees, but also preserves the surrounding environment. Our work doesn't always go smoothly. There are years when nature does not favor us. One of my most memorable experiences was when a sudden storm struck, destroying nearly all of the banana trees that were close to harvest. Strong winds and torrential rain for several consecutive days flattened the entire banana field. We could do nothing but watch as the fruits of our labor were destroyed in just a few hours. At times like these, my faith in farming was tested. I clearly remember the feeling of helplessness and sadness as I looked at the ripe yellow banana clusters crushed on the ground. But then, I realized that farming is always accompanied by such risks. My parents had gone through similar storms before, and they always told me, "Farming is a profession of patience. If we lose the crop this year, we plant again for the next." Natural disasters aren't limited to storms. There are also prolonged droughts that prevent the banana trees from growing. That year, my family and I had to dig additional wells for irrigation, but it could only sustain us for a short time. These prolonged droughts not only caused economic losses, but also resulted in us losing many valuable banana trees. Finally, after so many days of waiting and care, we were able to enter the harvest season. This is the moment that every farmer eagerly awaits. Every morning, just as the sun begins to rise, my entire family gathers in the banana fields. The sight of the ripe golden banana clusters hanging from the trees makes me feel like all our efforts have been rewarded. The harvesting process is not simple. Bananas are very delicate, so we must be extremely careful with each step. With a sharp, well-sharpened knife, we gently cut down each large banana cluster and slowly lower them. We always choose the right time to harvest, when the bananas have reached the perfect ripeness, but are still firm enough not to bruise during transportation. Harvesting bananas is a task that requires both skill and experience. Each banana cluster can weigh between 20 to 30 kilograms, and moving them from the field to the truck requires coordinated teamwork from all family members. We must ensure that the bananas don't get bumped or dropped, because even a small scratch can cause the fruit to spoil during storage. The joy I feel when I see the golden banana clusters being harvested is indescribable. It's not just a material success, but also a sense of pride in seeing the fruits of our hard labor. Our entire family gathers, laughing and chatting as we load the banana clusters onto the truck, preparing for their journey to the processing plant. The harvest moments also bring back many fond memories. I clearly remember the first time I was given the main responsibility of harvesting a large banana cluster. I felt nervous and anxious as I stood in front of the ripe bananas, holding the knife but too hesitant to cut. But after a few words of encouragement from my parents, I gained confidence and successfully completed the task. It was a significant milestone, marking my growth. After harvesting, the banana clusters aren't simply packed and sent off immediately. The processing stage at the plant plays a crucial role in ensuring the best quality for consumers. Bananas are a sensitive fruit, so we must make sure they are handled and preserved with great care. At the processing plant, the bananas are carefully inspected upon arrival. Each cluster is washed once again to remove any dirt or residual pesticides. Then, workers sort the bananas based on their size, color, and ripeness. This process is done meticulously to ensure that only bananas that meet the quality standards proceed to the packing and shipping stages. After sorting, the bananas go through the packing stage. Each banana is placed in large cardboard boxes, lined with soft paper to prevent bruising. Each box is labeled with important information, including the harvest date, production location, and expiration date. This step is very important because it ensures that the bananas reach consumers fresh and safe. The transportation process is equally important. Bananas need to be stored at the proper temperature to prevent them from ripening too quickly during transit. Therefore, we use containers equipped with temperature control systems to keep the bananas fresh until they reach their destination. Seeing the boxes of bananas loaded onto the trucks, ready for their journey to supermarkets and stores around the world, fills me with immense pride. Our bananas are not only consumed domestically, but also exported to many other countries. This not only helps improve my family's economic situation, but also contributes to promoting the image of Vietnamese agricultural products in the international market. As this journey comes to an end, I sit down and reflect on everything I've experienced. Farming, to me, is not just a means of livelihood, but a passion, a mission that I feel fortunate to carry out. From the early days of preparing the land, nurturing the young banana shoots, to finally seeing the result in the form of golden banana clusters, I've realized that farming requires not only hard work, but also a great deal of love and patience. My love for banana trees and farming has grown with each passing season. I feel proud to have contributed, even in a small way, to providing clean, safe food for consumers. From that, I've also come to understand the immense responsibility I have in protecting the environment and promoting sustainable agriculture. I have been and continue to apply organic farming methods, reducing the use of chemicals, and finding ways to improve production processes to minimize negative impacts on nature. The road ahead holds many challenges, but I believe that with my love and passion for farming, I will overcome any difficulties. I also hope that through this story, people will better understand the lives of farmers like us and appreciate each banana, each product that we have worked so hard to create.